When you hear the word God during this lecture, keep in mind that I'm not referring to the creator of the universe, because I do believe that there's a creator of the universe. I'm referencing the Anunnaki beings that masqueraded as gods with a lowercase g and were worshipped not only by the Sumerians, but by many civilizations that they themselves had kickstarted. The Enuma Elish has about 1,000 lines and is recorded in Old Babylonian on 7 clay tablets, each holding between 115 and 170 lines of Sumo Akkadian cuneiform script. Most of the Tablet 5 had never been recovered until recently, and Tablet 5 was discovered at the Somalia Museum in Iraq. This epic is one of the most important sources for understanding the Babylonian worldview, centered on the supremacy of Marduk and the creation of humankind for the service of the gods. Its primary original purpose, however, is not an exposition of theology or theology, but the elevation of Marduk, the chief god of Babylon, above other Mesopotamian gods. Who is Marduk? Marduk appears in the Bible. Marduk appears in the Torah. Marduk appears in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Who is he? He's Amun-Ra. Yeah, remember I kept telling you guys, you've been praying to the wrong people. When you say amen, you're saying amen to this guy. This guy was evil, man. He was evil. He was the one who said, there'll be no other God but me. He's a jealous God. That all made it into the biblical text. That came from Marduk's words. That's what's stopping a lot of people from digging into this wisdom and this knowledge, because they think that it's so far out there and it's so ambiguous and nobody knows what these things really say, when that's actually not true. We know exactly what they say, and it's not a mystery. We really, really know. So I've just spent a lot of time trying to debunk the debunking of the tablets and getting you to understand that Zecharia Sitchin wasn't really wrong. He was a great researcher. He used existing translations. He didn't translate anything himself. And more people than none know what these tablets say all around the world. It's not a mystery anymore. Okay. And so over here, you see here the Torah is the law of God, which is what that actually means. A lot of the stories that came from these ancient tablets made their way into the Torah. Okay. They literally copied, very poorly as well, a lot of the information from tablets, and they kind of chopped it up and put it in ways, the Council of Nicaea, they put it in ways where, they can coordinate it to where they can utilize it for their own purpose. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in there, but at the same time, a lot of it is kind of curated information. Of course, what they did in the Torah was they took out the word gods with an S, and they replaced gods with God singular, because they wanted to only have just one God, when in true reality, there's more than one God. God even said that there's more than one gods in the Bible. Okay. And here you go with the ancient Jewish history. You can go to the ancient Jewish history books, you can get them out, or you can go online to the Jewish virtual library.org. Okay, and you can say, well, people say, well, these people's names aren't in the Bible and the Torah. Oh, yeah, they are. I mean, here you go. Look, Marduk. I just did one, and I can do them for so many different names. Just highlight Marduk. Enki's in here also. If you look between where some of the highlights are off to the right, you'll see Enki's name. Enki and Marduk are in the Jewish Torah. These people were real people. These weren't fabricated names and fabricated people. They really existed. And Lil's name is in here too. They're all in here. Anu. In the Bible, they're called the Anak. Okay. So who is the devil, and do they speak about him in the tablets? Hey, that's a great question. Wrapping up on a great question tonight. So the devil is Satan, the Lord of Eden. Okay. The Lord of Eden, Edin. And in the tablets, Eden was an outdoor laboratory where they would mate these hominids together, trying to get procreation going to build a workforce. And Satan is actually known as Enlil, Enlil, Enki's brother, who really had a distaste for people and humans in particular. He was a bad dude. He would actually, if the people were clamoring too much, he would just have them killed off. He'd be like, just kill them. Kill as many as you can. He'd order them to be killed. If the people were clamoring too much in the field, and he got tired of hearing the people and the chatter because the breeding program was a success. He go, you know what? Dry out their fields and spray the fields. And they were actually doing chemtrails back in ancient times in these tablets. He'd mess up their crops and everything and have them starve to death. He'd put plagues on them in the tablets. He put plagues on people. He was an evil dude. Even during the time where they knew the deluge was coming. They knew this object was going to either crash into Earth and create this global flood, or this part global flood or regional flood. And according to these tablets, they had the capability to stop this from happening. And he said no. He was the commander, so he had the last say. He said, no, wipe them clean and we're going to start over again. I don't want to see these people. I want to wipe it. I want to start fresh. And so this guy was pretty evil. Okay, this guy, Enlil, his other name in modern times in the Bible is named Yahweh. This is Yahweh that people pray to. This is people you're praying to, the devil. You're praying to this evil guy. This guy's an evil entity. He could care less about a human being. I could care less. He would, to him, and according to him, what he said, we were just animals to him. Animals. That's what he saw us as animals. And he can care if we lived or if we died. So that is the answer to your question. And Lil, in the Garden of Eden, his brother Enki came and taught the humans the true knowledge of who they are, gave them knowledge of self. The apple was knowledge. It had nothing to do with eating an apple and all this other kind of crazy stuff. That's a metaphor. It was knowledge. And so when Enki woke them up to the fact of who they are, and that they were just as good as, and just the same, or maybe even as powerful as them, that's when they sparked. He sparked them and they woke up. And then when the evil one, Enlil, came back, he cursed them and everything else and kicked them out of the garden and blah, 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 blah. You know the story. But then Enlil got so enraged by what his brother did, he started telling people that his brother was the evil devil, when in fact he was the evil devil. He was the evil one, and his brother wasn't. His brother was a knowledge seeker and actually loved humans and even married a human. And so it was opposite. But his brother started trying to spread the word that that Enki was evil, but really Enlil, also known as Yahweh, was the evil one, which later on became known as the devil.